In 2018, a financial analyst named Marcus worked 80-hour weeks for 2 years straight. Delivered every project ahead of schedule. Never missed a deadline. His performance reviews were spotless. He was passed over for promotion 3 times. Meanwhile, his colleague Jennifer worked 45-hour weeks, delegated most of her tasks, and spent half her time in meetings that had nothing to do with her job description. She got promoted twice in the same period. Here's what everyone told Marcus: work harder, put in more effort, show more dedication, prove your value. That advice destroyed his career. Because Marcus made a mistake that most ambitious professionals make. He believed that promotion is a reward for hard work. It's not. Promotion is a political transaction. And the people who understand this rise, while the people who don't stay stuck, no matter how talented they are. Today I'm going to show you the actual mechanics of how people get promoted. Not the sanitized version from HR. Not the motivational fantasy from LinkedIn influencers. The tactical reality of how corporate hierarchies decide who moves up and who doesn't. This is going to contradict everything you were taught about career advancement. But by the end, you'll understand why working harder is often the worst strategy for getting promoted. Let's begin. Here's what nobody tells you when you're trying to get promoted. Promotions are not performance-based decisions. They're risk mitigation decisions made by people protecting their own interests. When a promotion opportunity opens, decision makers aren't asking, who worked the hardest? They're asking, who is the safest choice? Who won't make me look bad? Who do I already see as leadership material? Those questions have nothing to do with your output. They have everything to do with perception, positioning, and political capital. Let me show you how this actually works. Imagine 2 employees, both competent, both delivering results. One works 60 hours a week and completes 10 projects. The other works 40 hours and completes 6 projects. The person working 60 hours gets categorized as a workhorse, reliable, essential in their current role. Too valuable to move. Leadership thinks, we need them exactly where they are. If we promote them, who will do all that work? The person working 40 hours gets categorized differently. High potential, strategic thinker, ready for more responsibility, same competence, different perception, completely different outcome. The hard worker is trapped in what I call the reliability cage. The more indispensable you become in your current role, the less promotable you are. Because promoting you creates a problem for your manager. They lose their best producer. So they keep you exactly where you are. They give you raises to keep you happy. They praise your work ethic. But they never promote you. This is the uncomfortable truth. Your manager is not optimized for your advancement. They're optimized for their own success. And sometimes your advancement conflicts with their success. When that conflict exists, you lose. Here are the 3 tactical frameworks that actually determine who moves up. The first framework is visibility architecture. Most people think visibility means being seen working hard, staying late, sending emails at midnight, talking about how busy you are. That's not visibility. That's performance theater. And it actually hurts your promotion chances because it reinforces the workhorse categorization. Real visibility is being seen by the right people in the right context associated with the right outcomes. Here's how you build it. Step 1. Map the decision makers. Promotions are not decided by your direct manager alone. They're decided by a chain of people. Your manager's manager, the department head, sometimes HR, sometimes a promotion committee. Find out who actually makes the decision. That's your visibility target. Step 2. Engineer exposure to decision makers. You need to be in rooms where decision makers see you operating at the next level. Not working, operating. This means volunteering for cross-functional projects that put you in meetings with senior leadership. Specific example, join a quarterly revenue forecasting task force. Lead a process improvement initiative that reports to the executive team. Own the handoff between sales and operations on a strategic account. The key is this. Decision makers need to see you doing work that looks like the promoted role, not your current role. If you want to be promoted to manager, they need to see you managing. If you want to be promoted to director, they need to see you thinking strategically. Step 3. Control the narrative about your work. When you complete a project, don't let the results speak for themselves. Frame them. Send a summary email to stakeholders, including decision makers. But don't just report what you did. We delivered the Q3 analysis ahead of schedule. This identified a 15% efficiency opportunity that the leadership team can leverage in planning. Happy to present the findings if useful. You just connected your work to leadership priorities. You positioned yourself as someone who thinks about business impact. And you created an opportunity for further visibility. Step 4. Be selectively visible during wins and visible during crises. When projects succeed, make sure decision makers know you were involved. When projects fail, make sure you're not prominently associated with the failure. This doesn't mean sabotaging colleagues. It means being strategic about what you attach your name to. Before joining a project, ask, is this likely to succeed? Is it visible to decision makers? If yes to both, get involved. If no to either, reconsider. The warning: visibility without competence is empty. You still need to deliver results. But delivering results without visibility is invisible. You need both. Most people only have one. The second framework is the promotion prototype. Here's something most people don't realize. Promotion decisions are made long before the promotion is announced. Decision makers don't wait until a role opens and then evaluate candidates objectively. They already have someone in mind. The formal process is just theater to satisfy HR requirements. So the question is not, how do I win the promotion when it's announced? The question is, how do I become the person they're already picturing in that role? You do this by becoming the promotion prototype. You make yourself look like the obvious choice before the choice is even being made. Step 1. Identify the unspoken criteria. Every role has official requirements: education, years of experience, technical skills. These are table stakes. The real criteria are unspoken: cultural fit, communication style, presence, similarity to existing leadership. Pay attention to who gets promoted. What do they actually have in common? Do promoted people communicate in executive summaries instead of detailed reports? Do they speak up in strategy meetings? Do they have relationships with certain executives? These are the actual criteria. Reverse engineer them. Step 2. Close the style gap before the skill gap. If people at the next level communicate in executive summaries, start doing that now. If they speak in strategy meetings, find ways to contribute to those discussions now. If they have a certain executive presence, develop that presence now. You're creating pattern recognition in decision makers' brains. When they picture the promoted role, they picture someone who looks like the people already in it. If you already look like those people, you become the obvious choice. Step 3. Ask for pre-promotion assignments. Go to your manager and say, I'm interested in being considered for promotion to X role when opportunities arise. What would I need to demonstrate to be a strong candidate? Is there a project or responsibility I could take on now that would give me experience in that area? What you're doing is creating a prototype situation. You're doing next level work before you have the next level title. When the promotion opportunity arises, you're not a candidate. You're already doing the job. The promotion becomes a formality. Step 4. Build the external option. The fastest way to get promoted internally is to have a credible external offer. When decision makers know you could leave, two things happen. They take you more seriously, and they move faster. This means keeping your resume updated, taking recruiter calls, staying visible in your industry, building relationships outside your company. When promotion discussions happen, you want your manager thinking, if we don't promote them, someone else will hire them. The warning: if you signal external options but have no internal value, you just accelerate your exit. This tactic only works after you've built visibility and prototype positioning. The self-diagnosis moment. Let me give you a test. Answer these honestly. 1. In the last month, how many times have decision makers above your direct managers seen you operate? If the answer is 0, you have no visibility. That's why you're invisible. 2. Can you name 3 specific ways you've demonstrated next-level work in your current role? If you can't, you're not prototyping. You're not getting promoted. 3. If you left tomorrow, would your manager panic? If no, you have no leverage. That's why you stay where you are. 4. When people describe you, do they use the language of your current role or the next role? If it's your current role, your narrative is wrong. That's why nothing changes. 5. Do you know who's actually making the promotion decision? If you don't know, you're targeting the wrong audience. You're not getting promoted. If you failed 3 or more of these, you're in the reliability cage. You're working hard, delivering results and staying stuck. Everything you're doing is optimizing for the wrong outcome. The third framework is strategic subtraction. This is the most counterintuitive tactic, and it's the one that separates people who understand power from people who just work hard. Here's the principle. To get promoted, you often need to do less, not more. Remember Marcus, 80-hour weeks, buried in tasks? Too busy to be strategic. That wasn't dedication. That was a trap. When you're overwhelmed with execution, you have no time for positioning. You have no time to build visibility. You have no time to prototype the next role. Jennifer understood this. While Marcus drowned in deliverables, she deliberately subtracted low-value work, so she had capacity for high-value positioning. That's why she worked 45 hours and still out-promoted in 2-1. Strategic subtraction means deliberately removing low promotion value work from your plate so you have capacity for what actually moves you forward. Step 1. Audit your time for promotion value. List everything you do in a week. For each task, ask, does this make me more promotable? If it makes you better at your current job but doesn't position you for the next job, it's low promotion value. If it's high visibility, high impact, or next level work, it's high promotion value. Most people spend 80% of their time on low promotion value work. That's why they don't get promoted. Step 2. Delegate, automate, or eliminate. Can you delegate tasks to junior team members? Do it. You're creating leadership experience and freeing capacity. Can you automate repetitive tasks? Do it. Build a dashboard that replaces manual reporting. Create a template that eliminates recurring admin work. Can you simply stop doing things nobody notices? Do it. Most organizations have ghost work that continues out of inertia. Stop doing it and see if anyone cares. Usually they don't. Step 3. Redirect freed capacity to promotion value activities. The time you save doesn't go to more execution. It goes to visibility, to prototyping, to relationship building. Spend it preparing for that executive presentation. Spend it building relationships with skip-level leaders. Spend it on the cross-functional project that gets you in strategic meetings. This is how Jennifer worked fewer hours but positioned better. She wasn't lazy. She was ruthlessly focused on what moved her toward promotion. Step 4. Manage the optics of subtraction. If you're suddenly less busy, people might think you're slacking. You need to manage this perception. When you delegate, frame it as leadership development. I'm giving Sarah this project to help her grow. When you automate, frame it as efficiency. I built a system that saves the team 10 hours a week. When you eliminate, don't announce it. Just stop doing it quietly. The goal is to appear strategic, not lazy. The warning: this only works if you've already established competence. If you're new or already seen as underperforming, subtraction will backfire. Build credibility first. Then subtract strategically. If this feels uncomfortable, good. That means you've been lied to. You were raised to believe promotions are about merit, that hard work gets rewarded, that the system recognizes talent. But the system doesn't recognize talent. People recognize talent. And people are biased, self-interested, and influenced by perception more than reality. Promotions have always been political. The difference is that some people know this and navigate accordingly. Others pretend it's not true and wonder why they stay stuck. Everything I've taught you is about demonstrating your merit in ways that decision makers actually notice. That's not manipulation. That's strategic communication. If you think this is unethical, you're not ready for leadership yet. Because leadership is about influencing perception, building coalitions, and positioning strategically. If you can't do that for your own career, you definitely can't do it for a team. Here's the broader truth about career advancement. Early in your career, hard work matters. You're building skills, proving competence. During this phase, put in the hours, deliver the results, build the foundation. But there's an inflection point, usually around 5 to 7 years in, where hard work stops being sufficient, where the game changes from execution to positioning. Most people miss this inflection point. They keep playing the early career game. More hours, more tasks, more output, and they wonder why it stops working. The people who advance understand the rules changed. Execution is table stakes. Politics is the differentiator. If you're stuck right now, if you've been working hard and not getting promoted, you're probably past that inflection point. You're still playing the old game while others are playing the new one. This video is your signal to change games. Remember Marcus? He finally figured it out. Not because he worked harder, because he worked differently. He built visibility by volunteering for a cross-functional strategy project that put him in front of the executive team. He prototyped the next role by taking on team leadership responsibilities before he had the title. He used strategic subtraction to delegate operational work and focus on strategic positioning. 18 months later, he got promoted. Not because he was suddenly better at his job, because decision makers finally saw him as ready. Jennifer didn't have some secret advantage. She just understood the game earlier. You don't need to be smarter than your colleagues. You don't need to work harder. You need to understand what actually drives promotion decisions and optimize for that. Here's the one-sentence summary. Promotions are not earned through effort. They re-secured through strategic positioning that makes decision makers see you as the obvious choice before the choice is even being made. Visibility architecture. The promotion prototype strategic subtraction. These are the actual mechanics of how people get promoted while others stay stuck. The people passing you right now are using these frameworks whether they call them that or not. They're building visibility. They're prototyping the next role. They're subtracting low-value work to focus on positioning. The only question is whether you'll start using them too. If this made you rethink how promotions actually work, subscribe, because the people above you already understand this. And every month you spend optimizing for effort instead of positioning is another month they stay ahead of you. This is how power actually works. The naive optimize for effort. The strategic optimize for perception. And in corporate hierarchies, perception beats performance every time.